Good morning, parents, and good morning, learners. I hope that it's going very well. I'm going to use a different technique today for today's lesson. I'm going to use the book in front of me, and then we'll see if it goes better from there. So we're going to start with page 82. So we are going to do page 82 until page 84 for today. We're going to start with page 82. Okay, putting tens together and taking them apart. Continued, because we have done this before, so we're just going to continue doing more. Okay, now here I have some counters which you should have at home as well. We've sent it home last week. Okay, now remember, if we look at these counters, if I only have one in my hand, it's called a unit. Okay, so if it's single, if it's alone, it's a unit. Now, how many units do we need to make a 10? We need 10 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 units. So now it means it's one full 10. Okay. Here we only have 3 units. We cannot make a 10 because you need 10 units to make a 10, and we only have 3. Now, they are apart. They are tens. They are units. How many tens are there? There's 1 10, and 1 10 means it's only 10. How many units? 3 units. So all together we have 13. Because here we have the tens, here we have the units. The same with this number. We have the tens, we have the units. Okay, now we're going to move to our question over here. Okay, so I'm going to do the first 2 with you, the example and 1 extra, then you are going to do the rest. Okay, so we have the number 23 plus 99. Again, remember this number has 2 digits. This is 1 digit, this is the other digit. The 2 represents the tens, the 3 represents the units. The same with this number. We have tens, we have units. We do not have hundreds because there's no hundreds in either of these 2 numbers. So we are only going to work with tens and units. Okay, so we have 3 questions over here. The first question, all together. I want to circle that because that's very important. All together, how many tens? All together, how many units? Okay, the second question, did you group tens or units? We will come to that question later. Check the place value where you regrouped. And then last one, you're just going to write the final answer. Okay, so let's start with this one. Now, they want all the tens together. That means not this, just the tens for this number. They also want the tens for this number. So you're going to add these 2 tens. What is 9 plus 2? 11. Okay. The same with the units. All together. So that means we're going to take this number's units, plus it with that number. And 9 plus 3 equals to 12. So there are 11 tens altogether, and there are 12 units altogether. Okay, so that's the first question done. Here they ask, did you regroup the tens or the units? Now regroup means, remember, let's say here we have 10. Ne? If we had one more yellow, it would have been 11. Ne? 11 units. Okay, but now we are talking about 11 tens. So that means if there are more than 10 tens. Let's say we have 10 of these. 10 of these. If there are more than that, it's no longer considered part of the tens, because 10 times 10 equals to 100. So that means this number will now go to the hundreds. Okay. Here we have 11 tens. So that means we have 1 10 extra. So that means 11 tens, that's why they said there, 11 tens equals to 110. 110 plus how many units? 12 units. So 110 plus 12 equals to 122. Okay, an easier way to do it as well, if you can still remember. The top and bottom addition, 0 plus 2, it stays 2. 1 plus 1, 1 plus 0, 1. And there you have your answer. Okay, so that's what you're going to do here. I'm going to do this one with you. The rest you're going to do by yourself. Okay, so let's look at this number. Again, we have tens, we have units. We have tens, we have units. We do not have hundreds. Now, again, all together, how many tens are there? So you're going to take these 10, plus it with those. 3 plus 2 equals to 5. So it means there are 5 tens. 8 plus 5. 8 plus 5 equals to 13. So you have 5 tens, you have 13 units. Now you're going to write it out. 5 tens plus 13 units. 5 tens. So we're going to count in tens 5 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Plus units will stay the same. 13. And what will that be? Again, if you can do it without this method, you are more than welcome. If you would like to use this method just to make sure, you are also more than welcome. 0 plus 3 stays 3. 5 plus 1, 6. So our final answer is 63. Okay, at the bottom of page 82, it's an example for the next page that we are going to do now. Because now we are going to subtract. So it says here, when we subtract, we sometimes need to show 110 as 10 units or 100 as 10 tens. That means, for example, here we have 60 minus 55. So they started by drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. Now here they took one of these tens, they took this 10 and they took it apart to make it 10 units. Okay, so what they did was they took one full 10 and they took it apart, so it's 10 single units. Because it will help you to subtract, because there's no units there, but there's units there. 0 units, 5 units. That's why we are taking one full 10 and we are making them 10 single units. That's what they did there. So now, when they take away 55, how many tens should they take away? They should take away 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many units should they take away? Also 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many units are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, the answer will be 5. So now we're going to do the same here at the top of page 83. Okay, so we have 70 minus 28. Again, here we have 0 units, and here we have 8 units. So again, they started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tens, because 7 tens makes 70. So they broke up the 10. So they took away 1 full 10 and turned it into 10 small units. They did this again. They took one of the 10s and they made 7. They made 10 single units. Okay. So it's easy to then subtract over there. Okay. Therefore, they took away 1 full 10, so there are 6 full 10s left, and they changed that 10 into units. Okay. Now, yeah, it's easy then to say 70 minus 28. So again, remember, 10s, units, 10s, units. How many 10s should you take away? 1, 2. How many units should you take away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many 10s are left? There are 1, 2, 3, 4 10s left. That's why they made 4 there. How many units? 1, 2. So what will our final answer be? 1, 2, 3, 4 10s, 1 and 2 units. So 70 minus 28 will be 42. Okay, so you are now going to do these parts. Okay, remember also to write there the answers. Okay, so you're going to do B and C. Okay, now the bottom part of the page, finding the number pairs. Okay, so basically what's happening here, I'm going to do A with you and then you're going to do the rest. So we have the number 200. Here they gave us the number 30 and then we have a missing number. Here it's actually a plus because 30 plus what number equals to 200? A very easy way to get to the answer here. If we say 200 minus 30, 0 minus 0, it stays 0. Can 0 take away 3? 0 cannot take away 3, so we're going next door. And we have friendly neighbors, so the 2 become a 1. And we give the other 1 over there. Now we have a 10. 10 minus 3, 7. 1 minus 0 stays 1. So the missing number here is 170. Okay, so you can do B, C, and D. Okay, the last page for today, page 84. Okay, so a visit to the dentist. So a group of children visit the dentist. Now, let's look at this first. Okay, so here we have a toothbrush. One toothbrush represents one time. Okay, so this means these are the ticks for the children who only brush their teeth once a day. This row is for the children who brushes their teeth twice a day. And this row is for the children who brushes their teeth more than 2 times a day. They brush their teeth 3 times a day, probably morning, afternoon, and evening. Okay, this one probably only brushes his teeth in the morning. This one, morning and in the evening. Okay, so you're going to use this to answer A and B. Okay, so A, you're going to count the ticks, showing how often children brush their teeth, and you're going to write the numbers. So here we have once a day. So all you do is you go to the toothbrush that only has one, so it's that row, count the ticks, write the answer. How many children brushes their teeth twice a day? Then you count the ticks in that row. Write the answer. How many children brushes their teeth 3 times a day? Count the ticks, write the answer. Okay, so it's not that difficult. Then B, what can you see from the table? This is called the table. Most of the children brush once, twice, or 3 times a day. Which one is most? Most, will it be once a day, twice a day, or 3 times a day? The last question, there are how many children in the group? So how many children are there all together? There I'm showing you. Okay. Okay guys, so that's it for today.